Hi everyone, I'm Vicky, founder of the Fashion Business Coach. I hope you're keeping well during these strange times that we're in right now. I've teamed up with the Fashion Network to provide you with some tips to help your fashion business during this pandemic. It's a scary time for the fashion industry and for business owners in general, but I'm a big believer in making the most of what you've got and doing what you can to push your business forward, even in times like these. I think it's important to find the silver linings where you can. Now, I don't want to downplay the fact that lives have been lost and this is really serious. It goes without saying that this whole pandemic is a tragedy in so many ways. But I'm trying to have a positive outlook and focus on what I can be doing, what is in my control, and how I can help my business and other businesses too. So I've been working on some things with my clients who are small and startup fashion brands and helping them with moving their business forward. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys too right now. So I've got 5 tips to help you with your business even during these uncertain times. Now, the first thing I think is important to work on right now is content marketing. If you've not heard of this concept before, content marketing is basically creating articles or videos or podcast episodes to either help or educate your customer in some way. Now, the content is going to be on topics that relates to your target audience, something that they're interested in, and it's not going to contain a strong pitch. The idea is that it allows your target customer to find you through this information that you're giving away, and it's going to keep them engaged as well. You know as well as I do, we're bombarded with so many marketing messages each and every day. So it's important that we're not just constantly self-promoting, or people are just going to zone out and start ignoring us, or worse, they're just going to unfollow us completely. So now is a great time to build up the content that you have on your site, which is going to help you to attract customers not only now, but in the future too. Now, in general with marketing right now, I've seen mixed opinions on whether you should or not. But personally, I think it's more important now than ever, to market your business and your products. Of course, there needs to be an element of sensitivity here, but the fact is that as a small business, you need to make money. The closure of your brand is going to affect more people than just yourself. It's going to affect anybody that you hire, any suppliers that you buy materials from. We're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars of orders being cancelled at factories who employ some of the world's poorest people, and we really can't afford to have people in those areas in particular out of a job. So we have this responsibility to make sure that we're still fulfilling our commitments with our suppliers. So right now, I do think you need to be marketing, but I think it's important to add a personal touch, the human touch, so that people understand why you're continuing to promote. Second, it's important to connect with your customers. One of the best advantages of being a small brand is that we can connect with our audience in a really authentic way. Big brands just don't have the ability to do this. There's too many people involved in their company, and it's just not possible to engage with an audience of that size. So now is a great time to make meaningful connections with your audience. People are at home, many of them are getting bored, and they're looking for a distraction. Now, personally for this, I love email marketing, but I'm also warming up to stories on Facebook and Instagram as well. These are particularly good as a casual platform rather than this overly produced content that takes a long time. It's an opportunity to tell customers what you're about, just in a face-to-camera situation like this one right now, and just explain how much the business means to you and really invite them to connect with you, to share their story with you. I actually did this a couple of weeks back, and it's amazing how many people responded and shared their story with me. This is great because you're able to show people the real you. You're able to show that customers aren't just a number to you, and that you're not a faceless corporation, but a real person who cares about their customers and their business. This is also a great time to ask people what they want to see more of from you and how you can serve them better. Again, this could be casual using social media, or you might want to build a free survey. There's loads of free survey tools out there, and just ask your audience to complete this quick questionnaire. A tip if you do this, ask some open-ended questions so that you're not leading the answers. So for example, ask something like, what do you expect from our clothing? Or what do you think about our brand? This means that the customer has a chance to write something, and you might discover something that you didn't expect. Pretty much every brand I've ever done this with has found something unexpected in the answers to those kinds of open-ended questions. The third thing that you can do right now is analysis. Now, analyzing data is super important for any fashion brand, new or established, but I often find that it's something that people just aren't excited about, so they put it off for later and then never get to it. When I worked as an in-house designer for large retailers, every single Monday was dedicated to data analysis. That's just how important it is, but I rarely see small brands giving it much attention at all. I get it, you're busy, there's loads of stuff that's seemingly more urgent, but if you're finding yourself quiet right now, this is a really good time to look through past sales data, look for the reasons that people have returned items, look at your marketing, how's your website performing, what about your email open rates, your social media campaigns. Look in the data and try and find details that are going to help you make decisions moving forward. So for instance, if you look at your best and worst sellers, this can really help with you with your design process going forward. Looking at your top pages on your website can help you to realize what people are engaging with, what they're enjoying, and what you can produce more of. Understanding where your visitors are coming from will help you to focus on marketing platforms or strategies that are actually bringing people in, so that you're putting time and effort into things that are performing well, rather than spending time on things that don't actually convert and really aren't worth your time. Number 4 is systems. I'll admit I'm a massive geek when it comes to systems. I'm someone that is time poor, as I guess a lot of you are. The fashion industries, most people are time poor, right? But systems have allowed me to get so many hours back in my day. The best way to approach this is to have a think about what tasks you do regularly and or what takes a lot of time, and figure out how you can reduce that down. So for example, if you find that you get lots of similar queries, either look at how you can communicate the answer on your website so that people don't even have to ask you this in the first place, or you can create a draft email that simply is editable. When you get one of these queries in, obviously make sure you edit the customer name and anything relevant to that particular customer, but you can then send it on and it saves you a heap of time. If you're doing email marketing, think about the kinds of automations that you can set up so that you can nurture your relationships with your audience on autopilot as much as possible. Realize there's a limit here though. You don't want to undo all of your efforts connecting with your audience by having too much automation. If you're not using one already, and I strongly suggest that you do, try some social media schedulers out and see which one's a good fit for you. Bulk uploads can save so much time, and they also stop you from this last minute panic posting. You know, you realize you need to post to Instagram or something and you've got nothing planned. Another area to look at is your order fulfillment and your returns process. What can you streamline there to help you save time in the future? And just general organization as well, so that when you get busy again, and you will get busy again, all of your files, both your physical ones and your digital ones, are going to be easy to access, and they're going to be in an order that makes sense to you, and it's going to be helpful for you to have them in a really easy to access format. My final tip is to upskill. Now's an amazing time to learn something new that's going to benefit your business in the long run. So that might be something like learning photo editing or video editing skills so that you can really make your advertising pop. Or you might want to learn about 3D systems that are going to aim to reduce the amount of samples that you need, therefore saving time and cost. Or you might want to take some classes in business development or marketing strategies that are going to help you to prepare your business for long-term success. Now, in general, one of the most positive things that comes out of these kinds of situations is that people support each other and it brings communities together. I think now more than ever, we need to pull together and support each other as small businesses. These are tough times and it's hard to know all the answers. It's hard to know what's right and what the right call is sometimes. So I encourage you not to judge others' decisions. I've unfortunately seen a little bit of that going out online, which is why I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. It's important to support each other right now and not be calling people out. The good news is that people have been buying clothes for a very long time. In fact, I can actually trace my ancestors' knitting business back centuries, so it goes back far, right? So I don't see people's desire to buy new clothing changing anytime soon. It's too heavily ingrained in our culture to have new clothes. So there's always going to be customers. It's just a case of finding them and serving them in the best way that you can. I hope you find these tips helpful and are able to use them to move forward with your business, even in times like these. Thanks for watching and stay safe.